Look at this. Go ahead, look closely at the finish on these cabinets. You see that sheen? That isn't wood grain, that isn't polish, that is a layer of polymerized grease mixed with dust, smoke residue, and years of cooking vapors that have settled into the pores of the wood. Most people think this is just how old kitchens look. They think you have to live with the stickiness. They think you need to buy a $20 bottle of degreaser from the store that smells like chemicals and burns your eyes. I'm here to tell you that's wrong, and I'm not guessing. My grandfather cleaned commercial kitchens for 40 years. My father managed maintenance for apartment complexes. I've been scrubbing floors and wiping down surfaces since I was tall enough to reach the sink. We didn't have fancy products. We had results. Today, I'm going to show you the one ingredient that costs less than $1, sits in your pantry right now, and cuts through this sticky film faster than any spray bottle you can buy at the supermarket. By the end of this video, you won't just have clean cabinets. You'll understand why everything else you've tried failed. Let's get to work. Let's talk about what we are actually dealing with here. When you walk into your kitchen and run your finger along the front of your upper cabinets, especially near the stove or the microwave, it feels tacky. It's not wet, but it's not dry. It grabs your fingerprint. If you look at it under good light, it looks cloudy. Maybe it's even a little yellowed if you've had the cabinets for more than 5 years. This is not dirt. Dirt is loose. Dirt wipes off with a damp cloth. This is bonded residue. Every time you boil water, fry bacon, sauté onions, or even just leave a pot simmering, microscopic droplets of oil and moisture escape into the air. This is called aerosolized grease. It floats up, it hits the cool surface of your cabinets, and then it sticks. At first, it's just a thin film. You don't notice it, but over weeks and months, layer upon layer builds up. It traps dust, it traps smoke from burnt toast or seared meat, it traps humidity, and then something chemical happens. The oils oxidize. They react with the oxygen in the air. They harden. They turn into a varnish-like substance that bonds to the paint or the wood stain. This is why water doesn't work. Water slides right off oil. This is why standard all-purpose cleaners often fail. They are designed for light soil. Crumbs, spills, fingerprints. They are not designed to break down polymerized lipid chains that have been baking on your woodwork for 3 years. So, what do most people do? They grab a sponge and some dish soap. They scrub. Nothing happens. So they grab a stronger cleaner, maybe something with ammonia. They scrub harder. Now they're tired, their arms hurt, and the cabinet still looks dingy. Or worse, they use an abrasive pad. Now they've scratched the finish. Now the grease has somewhere deeper to hide. The cycle continues. The kitchen feels dirty no matter how much you clean it. It's frustrating. It makes you feel like you're failing at keeping your home tidy. You aren't failing. You're just using the wrong tool for the job. You're trying to wash away paint with water. You need a solvent. You need something that changes the chemistry of that grease so it releases its grip on the wood. To fix this, we have to understand the chemistry. Don't worry, I'm not going to give you a lecture. I'm going to give you the practical truth. Grease is non-polar. Water is polar. They don't mix. That's basic science. Dish soap works because it has surfactants. Surfactants have 2 ends. One loves water, one loves oil. They surround the grease and lift it off the surface so water can wash it away. This works great for fresh grease. If you spill oil on the counter and wipe it up immediately, dish soap is perfect. But remember what I said about the cabinets? This grease is old, it's oxidized, it's polymerized. It has formed long molecular chains that are tangled together and stuck to the surface. Standard surfactants can't penetrate that thick, hardened shell effectively. They sit on top. You scrub, but you're just moving the surface dust around. The bond remains. We need something that breaks those bonds. We need an emulsifier that is strong enough to cut through the oxidation, but safe enough not to strip the finish off your cabinets. Many commercial degreasers use harsh solvents like butyl salicylate or heavy alkalines. These work, yes, but they are toxic. They fume. They require gloves and ventilation. And if you leave them on too long, they eat the clear coat on your wood. They damage the very thing you're trying to clean. There has to be a middle ground, something that respects the material but dominates the contaminant. Think about how our grandparents cleaned. They didn't have synthetic chemicals. They used what nature provided. They understood that certain natural substances have powerful cleaning properties because of their molecular structure. One of these substances is incredibly effective at breaking down fats and oils. It's mild, it's non-toxic, it's cheap, and it's likely sitting in your cupboard right next to the flour. The secret isn't a new invention. It's an old method that got forgotten because marketing told us we needed bright blue liquids in spray bottles. The ingredient I'm talking about creates a reaction that lifts the grease without abrasion. It doesn't scratch, it doesn't fume, it simply dissolves the bond between the oxidized oil and the cabinet surface. Once that bond is broken, the grease turns back into a liquid state that can be wiped away effortlessly. This is about working smarter, not harder. Janitors know this. We don't scrub until we drop. We let the chemistry do the work. We apply the right agent, we give it time to react, and then we remove the residue. It's efficient, it's effective, and it preserves the life of your kitchen. If you destroy the finish while cleaning, you've lost. The goal is restoration, not destruction. All right, let's get into the method. Here is what you need. You probably already have all of this. If you don't, you can buy it at any grocery store for pennies. First, you need white distilled vinegar. Not apple cider vinegar, not balsamic, white distilled vinegar. It's clear, it's cheap, and it has the right acidity level. Second, you need vegetable oil. Yes, oil. I'll explain why in a second. Any neutral cooking oil works. Canola, vegetable, sunflower. Just nothing strong like olive oil or coconut oil, which might leave a scent. Third, you need a soft microfiber cloth. Do not use paper towels. Paper towels shred when they get wet and leave lint behind. Do not use steel wool or Scotch-Brite pads. Those will scratch. You need a clean, dry microfiber cloth. Fourth, you need a small bowl and a spoon. That's it. No gloves, no mask, no expensive gadgets. Here is the ratio. In your bowl, mix 1 part white vinegar to 1 part vegetable oil. For a standard kitchen, half a cup of each is plenty. Stir it together. It won't mix perfectly. The oil will float on top of the vinegar. That's fine. In fact, that's exactly what we want. Now, here is the technique. This is where most people mess up. They dip the cloth in and wipe randomly. Don't do that. Dip your microfiber cloth into the mixture. You want it damp, not soaking wet. Wring it out if you have to. Start at the bottom of one cabinet door. Wipe in straight, horizontal lines. Follow the grain of the wood if you can see it. If it's painted, just go left to right. Watch what happens. As you wipe, the cloth will pick up the brown, sticky gunk. It will look disgusting. That's good. That means it's working. The vinegar is cutting through the oxidation. The acid breaks down the mineral deposits and the hardened crust. But here is the key, the oil. Why are we adding oil to clean grease? It sounds counterintuitive. Like cures like. The fresh vegetable oil mixes with the old sticky grease. It reliquefies it. It softens the polymerized bonds. The vinegar handles the dirt and the hardness. The oil handles the stickiness and the lubrication. Together, they lift the grime off the surface without stripping the finish. Wipe one section. Then take a dry part of your microfiber cloth or a second dry cloth and buff the area dry. Do not let the mixture sit and dry on the cabinet. Wipe it on, then wipe it off. You should see the shine return immediately. The cloudiness disappears, the stickiness is gone. The wood or paint looks rich and deep again. If you have heavy buildup, like near the stove hood, you might need to do it twice. Apply the mixture, let it sit for 30 seconds to penetrate, then wipe it away. For general maintenance, one pass is enough. Let me address a common concern. Will this make my cabinets oily? No, because you are wiping it off. The oil acts as a carrier for the dirt and a conditioner for the wood. Once you buff it dry, there is no residue, just a clean, protected surface. In fact, this method conditions the wood slightly, preventing it from drying out and cracking. It's a cleaner and a protector in one step. What about the smell? Vinegar has a strong scent when you first open the bottle, but here's the thing, vinegar smell dissipates quickly. Within 15 minutes, it's gone. Unlike chemical cleaners that leave a lingering artificial fragrance that masks the dirt, vinegar evaporates completely. Your kitchen will smell like nothing, which is exactly what a clean kitchen should smell like. Let's talk about safety. This mixture is food safe. If you have kids running around, touching the cabinets, putting their hands in their mouths, this is safe. If you have pets who lick the counters, this is safe. There are no toxic fumes, you don't need to open the windows, you don't need to worry about respiratory irritation. This is cleaning the way it was meant to be done. Simple, safe, effective. Now, let's troubleshoot. What if you have really old, neglected cabinets? What if the grease is so thick it feels like tar? In that case, you can adjust the ratio. Use 2 parts vinegar to 1 part oil. The extra acidity will help break down the heavier crust. You might need to let it sit for a minute before wiping. Use a soft bristled brush like an old toothbrush to gently agitate the corners and crevices where the grease accumulates. But be gentle, you are not sanding, you are loosening. What if your cabinets are laminate or thermofoil? This method works for those too. Laminate is plastic-based, so it's resistant to moisture, but it attracts static and dust. The oil helps reduce static, keeping dust away longer. Just make sure you don't soak the edges where the laminate might peel. Wipe damp, not wet. What if your cabinets are unfinished wood? Be careful. Unfinished wood absorbs liquids. Test this mixture on a small, hidden area first, like the inside of a door or the back of a panel. If it darkens the wood too much, dilute the mixture with more oil. The goal is to clean the surface, not saturate the wood. Let's compare this to the alternatives. Store-bought degreasers cost $5 to $10 a bottle. They last for a few months. This mixture costs maybe 50 cents. It lasts just as long. Store-bought cleaners often contain phosphates and volatile organic compounds. These contribute to indoor air pollution. This mixture contains 2 food ingredients. Store-bought cleaners require plastic packaging that ends up in landfills. You can buy vinegar and oil in bulk, reducing waste. From an environmental standpoint, from a health standpoint, and from a financial standpoint, this method wins. But the real win is the result. Try it. Go to your kitchen right now. Find the stickiest cabinet. Mix the solution, wipe it. Look at the cloth, look at the cabinet. You will see the difference instantly. It's not magic, it's chemistry. It's understanding what dirt is and how to remove it without damaging the surface. I want you to think about the psychology of cleaning. When your environment is sticky and dull, it feels heavy, it feels chaotic. When your surfaces are clean and smooth, it feels calm, it feels controlled. Cleaning isn't just about hygiene, it's about order. It's about taking care of your space. Using harsh chemicals feels like a battle. Using this method feels like maintenance. It's sustainable. You can do this every week without burning out. You can do this every month without dread. Here's a pro tip for you. After you clean your cabinets with this mixture, take a moment to check your hardware. The handles and knobs. They collect the most grease because hands touch them constantly. Use an old toothbrush dipped in the same mixture to scrub around the base of the handles. You'll be shocked at how much gunk comes out from under there. It's usually black and gritty. Removing that makes the whole cabinet look newer. It's the detail that separates a good clean from a great clean. Another tip. Work from top to bottom, always. Gravity is your friend. If you clean the bottom cabinets first, dust and drips from the upper cabinets will fall onto your clean work. Start at the top, move down, finish with the lower cabinets. This ensures you don't double clean anything. Efficiency matters. Also, change your cloth frequently. If your microfiber cloth gets saturated with grease, it stops picking up dirt and starts spreading it around. Have 2 or 3 cloths ready. When one gets too dirty, switch to a fresh one. Wash your cloths in hot water with no fabric softener. Fabric softener coats the fibers and reduces their ability to absorb grease. Keep your tools sharp, so to speak. Let's talk about frequency. How often should you do this? For most households, once a month is sufficient for a deep clean. For the areas near the stove, maybe every 2 weeks. If you cook heavily, fried foods, curries, lots of oil, you might need to do it weekly. Pay attention to your kitchen. Touch the cabinets. If they feel tacky, it's time. Don't wait until it's visible. Prevention is easier than restoration. A quick wipe down with this mixture takes 5 minutes. Waiting 6 months means spending an hour scrubbing. Choose the 5 minutes. I know some of you are skeptical. You've tried vinegar before, you've tried oil. Maybe you tried them separately and they didn't work. That's because they weren't combined correctly, or you didn't give them time to work, or you used the wrong type of cloth. Trust the process. Trust the chemistry. This isn't a hack, this is a method. It's been used in professional settings for decades, just not always advertised as such. Janitors know that simplicity scales, complex solutions break, simple solutions endure. Think about the wood itself. Wood is porous, it breathes. Harsh chemicals seal it off or strip its natural oils. This mixture respects the wood. The vinegar cleans, the oil nourishes. It's a balanced approach. It keeps the wood flexible and resistant to cracking. If you have antique cabinets or high-end custom woodwork, this is the safest way to maintain them. You aren't risking discoloration or etching. You are preserving the investment. And let's be honest about the effort. Scrubbing with abrasive pads is exhausting. It hurts your wrists, it ruins your nails. This method is gentle. You glide the cloth, you wipe, you buff. It's almost meditative. You can listen to music, you can think. It's not a chore, it's a ritual. Changing your mindset about cleaning changes your experience of it. When you use tools that work with you, not against you, cleaning becomes satisfying. You see immediate progress. You feel competent. So, here's your action plan. Tonight or this weekend, gather your supplies. Get the white vinegar, get the vegetable oil, get your microfiber cloths. Mix the solution, pick one cabinet, just one. Test it, see the result. If you like it, do the rest. If you don't, you've lost nothing but a few cents. But I promise you, you will like it. You will wonder why you ever bought those expensive sprays. You will wonder why you struggled for so long. This is what real cleaning looks like. It's not about having the newest gadget. It's not about having the strongest chemical. It's about understanding the problem and applying the right solution. It's about respect for your home and respect for your health. It's about passing down knowledge that works. My grandfather taught me this. His father taught him. Now, I'm teaching you. Keep this tradition alive. Keep your home clean, safe, and beautiful without costing the earth or your sanity. So, there you have it. Sticky, greasy cabinets don't stand a chance against vinegar and oil. It's cheap, it's safe, and it actually works. I want to hear from you. What is the biggest cleaning headache in your kitchen right now? Is it the oven, the reseals, the grout? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and your suggestions help me decide what to tackle next. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. We're building a community of people who want to learn the old ways, the practical ways, the ways that actually get the job done. No fluff, no fake promises, just real cleaning advice from someone who's been doing this their whole life. And if you want to keep learning, check out this video right here where I break down how to clean your gas stove burners without scratching them. It's another game changer. Thanks for watching. Keep it clean.